Has your AMS2 Pro got filament stuck in the feeder right here? Well, this video, I'm going to show you how to disassemble this section so that we can clear that blockage. Hey drafters, in a previous video, I showed you how to take apart the AMS2 Pro, but I didn't go down to the point of actually taking this cover off and clearing this out because it was clear at the time. But after that video, I tried to print again, and again, the silk filament got tangled up and frayed apart and really made a mess of this feed unit here. So in this video, we're going to take this apart again, and I'll show you step by step on how to do that and actually remove this from the AMS2 Pro. But then we're going to take this apart as well and actually clear all this gunk that's inside so that I can get it working again. So let's get right into it. For this process, you're going to need, of course, the AMS2 Pro unit. You're going to need some tweezers like this, and you'll also need some small Allen keys like this. I'm not sure the exact size, but they should come with your Bambu lab printer. Another thing to have is some filament, just some PLA will be fine to help clear any lines. First thing we need to do, open up the AMS unit. And then we remove this port at the back. You do that by just squeezing this area and it will just spring out like that. So this is the unit here. And whenever you're putting parts aside, make sure you put them in a nice safe area. Next thing is to remove these two rollers so that we can access the fasteners underneath. Now you can either just pull them out, but if that's a little difficult, just use one of your Allen keys to pry under and they'll just pop out like that. Just be careful because they do have bearings on the outsides and they can fall off and easy to lose. So keep them together, try and keep them flat. Put that to the side, and we need to remove this one as well. Like that. Then there are two fasteners in here. So using your Allen key, just drop it in, you'll feel it go in, slot in, and undo. And if this is a magnetic, you should be able to remove the screws. They look something like this. And then repeat for this side as well. From there, you should be able to remove this whole unit. So you can just grab these fins and pull it out like that. Being careful because there are two cables just at the back here which are connected. So one is a power, one is a data cable. And with these, you just need to kind of grab the base of the pins and just pull it out like that. The power one does have a little clip that you need to squeeze and then pull away. If I turn this over, you can see that little tooth there that you need to push down on, and that opens the engagement pin and then you can pull it out. Some will have it, some don't. Like this one doesn't actually have that. Actually it does, it has a little one on the back. So you do need to typically squeeze these so that you can pull them out. Now with that disconnected, you should be able to remove this whole unit. You can close this and put it to the side. So what I need to do is get access to this one right here. You can see there is filament inside and we need to clear that out. You could try just using your tweezers and going in the back here and pulling it out, but unfortunately I just can't get all these bits out, so we're going to have to get inside there. First thing you need to do, there's another roller here, and you'll notice that the gear is on your left side when you're holding it in this orientation, so make sure you put it back in that orientation as well. But same case here, this one is a little more stuck in, but just pull out from both edges and then remove it like that. You can see the little gear just there. Now we need to flip this unit over. So this is the one we're taking apart, so it's going to be on this side. And then there are two screws that we need to undo. There's one in here and there's one on the other side. Now for the feeder units in the middle, you actually need to remove the two screws on this PCB board, which is here and here. And once you undo those, you can lift your PCB board up and you'll be able to access those two screws for the feeder unit. But for the outside ones, we don't need to worry about that. And I think they actually use our smaller one in this case. Yes, they do. We'll undo this first one, and tiny little screws, so don't lose these. So with our two fasteners removed, we can now remove this feeder unit. And the way we do that, there's a little tooth in here. So with this feeder unit, we actually need to pull it away and disengage that bottom tooth that's just in here. So we pull it away, and you can see it's freeing loose, but it's still holding just down here. If you find it's difficult, you can remove the feed tube at the back here. You can pull up on this part and that will release the feed tube. And that just might give you a little bit more room to disengage that feed unit. Now in here, there is going to be one more cable that we need to get rid of. So we can just disconnect this one. I can feel that tooth on the bottom, which I squeeze, and then remove that. So now we have our feed unit. So here it is. And if you have a close look, you can see all our filament all tangled up in there. To get into here, because my tweezer can't get in there and pull this out, you actually need to get this cover off. And just be careful because this mechanism sort of falls out when you do that. Just pay attention to how this mechanism kind of goes together. So have a good look at it, see that the gear sits on the bottom, and just try and memorize that layout. So what we need to do is, again, take our Allen key, and we need to remove this screw. There's one here as well. And there's one on the bottom here, and I think this one, but let's start with these ones first. Actually, it's going to be smaller Allen key for these ones. Yep. You can see how small these ones are, very small. Put them off to the side so you don't get mixed up with any other ones. Flip it over. And then the one on the underside here. And they're all the same size fasteners, so it doesn't matter when you put them back which order they go, but you don't want to mix them to other parts of the unit. Yeah, it feels like we need to do this one too. So total of 4 fasteners. And now this should just kind of pry away. But this is the tricky part because there are some spring-loaded mechanisms in here. So we want to just carefully lift it up, and I might not even need to take the entire thing off. I just want to basically access all this so I can clean it all out. So here I've got a good view of everything, and we can take our tweezers, and it's because they're all oiled and greased, they really collect all this filament. Like, look at that. So we're going to just take our time, just try and remove everything we can. I thought it was actually water spinning around in here with the filament, but I believe it's actually the grease. And I just felt something fall into my hand. So if we have a look, okay, so this spring here, I'll show you how we put that spring back in later on, but be aware this does drop out quite easily. And there we go. That gives us a better access to everything anyway, so we can just pick all this filament out. It really made a mess in this one. There was another bit that just dropped off that I wasn't paying attention to, which is these side parts go into, and it is what holds these gearings in place. So just be very careful when you're handling this thing that you're not dropping pieces and losing them, because if you do, it's going to be very difficult to put them back together. That piece is black, and if I drop that onto my carpet, it is going to disappear into that carpet and I'll probably never find it. And I'll have to purchase a complete feeder unit, which is a good point to mention that if for some reason your feed unit is completely ruined, you can buy these assembled from Bambu Lab and simply just ditch this one and put a new one in and you'll be good to go. Okay, I think that is everything. It's all cleared out. You can get a little tissue and wipe that away as well. Try not to wipe away all the grease on these gears. They do need it. And now we need to reassemble it. So again, be very careful of those little black, they kind of look like little tiny bearings. I believe they are even bearings. And there is an orientation to how this all goes together, but we need to put this spring back in as well, which is a little bit of a pain. Now the orientation for these gears, you can see they kind of move up and down like this. So what we need is one needs to be down, the left side needs to be down, the other side needs to be up. And if you look in here, we can see there is a gear on the right side. So this is what engages with this. If we drop this back on, you can see it engages on this side, and this is what engages on the other side. But we need to put that spring in, and that spring drops in here. Now the annoying part is this is very hard to get back into place because you can see there's like a little pin just here. Point to it with the, so this pin just here is what goes onto that spring. So the tricky part is both putting this in and also trying to get the spring back in place so that it goes together. So I might just move all this filament out of the way. And you can see just how much crap there was inside there, jamming up my AMS unit. Again, super careful these bearings don't come out. Often you tip it over and they just drop out and you probably won't even hear them. So we'll line that up first, and I'm going to get my spring. This is another reason why these tweezers are so useful. I'm going to use it to compress my spring down, and be really careful if you're doing it this way, because if you compress it and it springs away on you, you are not going to find this at all. I'm doubting whether I should even do it this way, to be honest. Okay, so grabbing it like that. So I have a good grip on it, and I'm going to try and place it on that pin, and then I can see it almost sitting in there. Very hard to see, but it's almost sitting in there, so I can just kind of guide it in, and there we go, clicks into, and it's on that little pin, and it's seating inside that area there. So that's what gives it that springiness. And I'm doing that. As I do that, I'm holding all this down together, and it has a bit of a lip to it. So if it's sitting like that, push it into place. Check that your gears are aligned. So this side engages with this one. This one should be under this pin here. It can be in an up position and be here instead, and it won't fall down into the correct spot. So it needs to be down. Just think one up, one down. So now we should be able to, you can see that springiness is in there now. Now we can put this back together. So let's take one of these small fasteners, drop it in, take our small Allen key, and we just need one to start the engagement, and then this will hold it in place. We can probably do the side ones first. They're probably the easiest to do. And don't over tighten these. These are very, very small screws. They do not have much thread engagement. They just need to be slightly hand tightened. Do not over tighten these. As soon as you feel them bite, that's where you stop. And this last one, I'm going to put it on the end of my Allen key like this. There's a slight magnetism to this Allen key, so it helps hold it in place. And then I can, wrong one, goes into this one. There we go. So that is all ready to go. Put this over to the side, bring this guy back, and we need to now reattach this to here. So we need to attach this cable first, so we can go ahead and try and connect that back together first. It's a bit of an awkward one, this one. It doesn't give you a lot of length to grab into. If you are having trouble with it, use again with the tweezers, but they're super useful in this situation. You can use that to line it up and get it into place, and then pushing both sides and making sure that is connected in. Once you can't push it any further, that's basically it. Sometimes you hear them click into place, sometimes you don't. We need to connect this tube as well. So you should be able to just jam that up. Make sure it goes as far as it can. If it does help, remove this side first and then push that in. We can connect that back up in a moment. To reconnect this one, you want to start, there's a little tooth on here where it bites into. Put that side in first, and then you can just sort of drop it and you'll hear it click in place. We can reconnect this tube here, and then we can flip this over, and we need to put our 2 screws in there. I think they were the small ones again. Again, using the trick, we can put it on the end of our Allen key and then find the hole and just guide that in and then drop it into the hole, fasten that down. Again, only until you feel it's hand tightened. Do that for the other side. That's those 2 done, cable connected. We bring our AMS unit back, open that up, and we just reinstall this. So we take this, we drop it in that way, get this bottom edge in first, and we also need to just bring this back a bit. We need to connect these 2 cables first. So we got our data cable and we have our power cable. Now we can get that bottom edge in first, pushing it sort of into the back as much as we can, and then just sort of wiggling it in there. You should feel it basically drop into place. Final 2 fasteners for these 2 here. Again, put it on. These are quite deep holes, so I like to put it on there and just sort of drop it in, and then you'll feel it set into the fastener point. Hand tighten, again, put it on the end, drop it in place, and fasten together. That's done. We can put our little tube on the back as well. This will just pretty much just connect in and lock into place. So we can put that in like that. You'll hear it click. We need to take our roller with the gear. This is going to the feeder, so the gear is on the left side, And you just kind of push that in place and then push down on both edges until you hear it click. We do the same for these two rollers as well, making sure the bearings don't fall off. Just drop it in and then push down. One more time, drop it in, push down. And then that is it. We're now ready to reinstall our AMS unit. So I hope that's been helpful on how to disassemble the AMS2 Pro for the Bambu lab, getting into those feed units so that you can actually remove any filament that's trapped inside. I do have another video which showed how to remove filament if it's trapped in this area where the motor is, and you can check that out. And that's pretty much a whole teardown of this unit now. So if you need to watch those videos, that way you can either service this, replace parts, or worst case, like I have, actually remove any broken or mangled filament inside so that you can run it again. So with that all cleaned up, I should be able to connect this to the printer and there'll be no more issues. It'll just keep working as it should. So if you found value in this video and it's helped you, then please support the channel by subscribing to the channel, and thanks for watching.